So I just got done doing a whole hour's worth of work trying to get the Angel of Mercy thing tabbed out. I'm still not done, which I'm going over the email. But some of those parts, man, they're so damn fast. It was a huge pain in the ass to hear what the hell's going on. Mainly the this part. I'm not going to play it as fast as him. I'd need to practice it. But he's basically doing like. He goes out of key at one point. I had to watch the video slowed way down to make sure I was actually hearing that right, because one note just wasn't working. And then the tab that I originally had, it was set at the wrong beats per minute. I mean, it's just kind of a mess at the moment. But also, I'm sending you what I have done. You know, it's going to be up to you if you want me to continue to work on this, or maybe even contact Mr. Levi Clay, since he specializes in transcribing stuff, and he seems to be pretty damn fast at it. I don't know how well he would be at picking out some of the super fast stuff. The fast stuff is what's the big pain in the butt, because it's so hard to hear. And one thing, it was funny, if you listen to the that part there, it sounds like this when it's slowed down. So it's not even completely even. So that's what happens a lot of the times. It sounds correct when you're playing it up to speed, but when you slow it down half speed, you hear all kinds of incorrect rhythms and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's best I call it on that one for the moment and see what you want to do going forward. But let's go over the two new exercises. So, starting at 60, here we go. Double time. I don't care what my slant is doing. I'm just playing the notes. And I really want you to think that way. Just play the notes right. The slant when necessary. So, alright, 240. So, if you get to 240 with this, tell me, and I'll help you take to the next level, which is basically just see how would that go. Basically just going to have you do 16th notes, so then you would have so I guess that if you get the eighth notes up to 240, you can start again at 60 beats a minute, play 4 notes a click instead. So that was 60. I'll do it again. But I want you to be able to do with eighth notes first. Don't try and do the 16th notes yet until you know you can do 240 beats per minute with the eighth notes comfortably. So 120 with 16th notes, which is the 240, with eighth notes. Let's do 140 next. $160. 180. It's definitely getting harder. And I'm stopping at 200. Okay. Now the other one. Whoops. was doing way too fast. Here we go. Double time. And double that. Yeah, that's right. The fuck? Wind's blowing like crazy. Just turned my amp off for a second there. Hopefully I can make it through this without anything else shutting off. So, if you can get that, what I just did, up to 240 beats per minute with the eighth notes the way I have it, so the 2 notes a click, and then well, you basically got your 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That's what the whole rhythm is. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You can get that up to a 240. So what it sounds like with the 16th notes. Basically, it'd be 2 16th notes and an 8th note. So you'd have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. That would be the count. You're basically doubling everything up in the value. So you'd have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Double that. We'll do 160 next. So yes, there I did obviously go into a downward slant because now at this pace it makes more sense to do it for me. Then 180. I'm definitely swiping the hell out of these strings at that pace. Since I'm swiping, I don't need to do a slant. Okay. One last thing I'd like to talk about that felt probably wasn't the best time last time. The goal you have set of if Zakk Wylde can do these things the way Zakk Wylde can, then therefore I should be able to do it because he can do it, therefore I can do it. Now, as someone who has studied the shit out of bodybuilding, strength training, weight training, things like that, unfortunately, genetics play a humongous role in what we are ultimately able to do. So, beyond keeping in mind that you have not put in the same amount of hours Zakk Wylde has, and you can't, it's just two different professions right now. Besides the practice factor, you do not have his limbs, you do not have his bone structure, you do not have his nervous system, you're not Zakk Wylde. So setting a goal up to basically be a Zakk Wylde clone is not the most realistic thing to do. I'm not saying you can't emulate them, but I am saying that if you try and force your body to look 100% like Zakk Wylde when Zakk Wylde plays, I do not feel that is the best approach. Working on what your body is good at and developing that as best as you can and taking that to the furthest level is going to be much more optimal than trying to force yourself to play the way somebody else is optimally built to play. Now, like, take that riff for example, the one you've been working on, the one you're struggling with, the one we've looked at quite a bit. Might as well just play the damn thing. That guy. So I do not play just like Zakk Wylde. You saw that the video you sent me with that guy who also does not play 100% like Zakk Wylde, also able to produce the notes with a slight variation in hand, forearm, wrist position, whatever. So I'm saying this because I know how frustrating it can be through my own experience trying to emulate somebody else. Wanted to be big as Arnold, and obviously I have to take a considerable amount of drugs to do that, but even still I've learned that steroids will not make you as big as somebody in the IFBB. If you don't know what that is, that's basically your professional bodybuilders who compete for the Mr. Olympia and are fucking huge. Genetics allow them to be that way. You can train your ass off all you want. Like, if I did that, there's no way I'd ever get that big. I don't have the genes. I weigh 223 pounds this morning, and I don't look anything like those guys. Not a damn thing. So I understand that this might be discouraging, and you might be saying to the camera or the video right now, fuck you, John. I don't give a shit what you say. I'm going to do it. I really am just trying to get you to have a realistic expectation on what is possible. And here's an idea. What if you're able to create or recreate the Zakk Wylde sounds you want to create by having a complete opposite pick angle or pick slant? I'm just being hypothetical here. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. But what if that came down to it? What if you are able to complete the goal of recreating all the Zakk Wylde sounds that you want, but you have to do it with the opposite slant direction? If you're able to do it in the opposite slant direction, do you still want to force yourself to do it with the other slant direction? I'm kind of talking in extremes here, but a lot of times I think that kind of gets the point across. So I hope that's good food for thought for you. Again, I'm not trying to put you down or the goal down. I just want you to have a realistic expectation going forward, so this way you have less disappointment and you're able to focus on the correct things in order to get you progressing forward more and more and more. Yeah. So if you got questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.